am in the colors.xml, which is located under res in values. You can see in the left side of your window from the bottom to 4 ups where colors.xml is located. You have to come into this colors.xml, then you have to add 3 or 4 colors. Like these are customized colors that I am adding by their hex values and giving their name. So here I added trans and I will just copy it and will change the name and their hex values. Okay, so let me go to the second one, change it to the yellow and giving the hex value for it. So here I am giving the hex value for it, and then the third one, and I will be giving the value for this also as violet, and later you can see that it is given there. Afterwards I have to change the name of this color also, and will change the hex value too. Okay, so it is sky blue and its hex color is 7508EFE1. Okay, then the second last, here I have to correct it by trans red and will change the hex value also. So I will be giving the hex value as 75CC and 000. Okay, and the last one, so I will change the name to Tuck and also have to. Okay, so it is completed. Now I am in the main activity.xml. Here I have to design the screen for the app. So first of all I am taking the text view here. By default there is a text view present. Please remove that and add the new text view, or you can modify that default one. Okay, so I am setting the width and height as 0 dp respectively, and then the ID for this text view is given as tv1, where v is capital. Okay, now I have to add few more properties for this. Let me see what are those. The one of those is margin, and margin from the start is given as 27 dp, margin from the end is given as 27 dp, and then margin from the bottom is little bit changed as 25 dp. Okay, now the text size, and the text size is 40 sp. Okay, so it is gravity here, so I have to add the gravity as center vertical XOR center horizontal. Okay, then I have to add padding for this text view, and I'm adding the padding as 20 dp here. Let me give some hint like enter your text, or you can add like your text will be viewed here. It is a text view, not the edit text, so I request you to change it to your text will be here from enter your text. Okay, then text color is added as black. By default it is black, you don't have to make any changes. Then the font family, of course we have added some custom fonts, so let me see the name of that font, and it is Product Sans Bold. Okay, so let me add the name here, and it is Product Sans dash bold. Okay, so it is added right now. Okay, so this text view is having some last few properties left out. Let me see if there like a background I have to add, so I'll add the background as transcript yellow, that the colors we have added earlier. And now I have to add some constraint. Okay, why are these constraints needed? As constraint layout is there, that's why. So I'm adding the constraint properties like constraint bottom to top off, and I'm giving the ID as input message. Okay, this is showing error because I have not implemented the view having the ID input message, but I will be doing soon. And now the constraint and to and of parent, and now constraint start to start off, and then constraint top to top off, and I will be giving the value for the ID as tb2. Okay, so I will be adding this view also having the ID tb2. So this text view is completed, and now let me try to copy it, as we will be needing another text view of similar properties, but we have to make change in few properties, like one of them is ID. I change the ID to tb2, then I have to change the width also to the wrap content. Afterwards the height is also changed to the wrap content. Okay, and then let me change properties like margin from start, and it is given as margin end, and then margin bottom, like I'm adding it to, it's not margin end, it's margin top. Okay, and now the margin bottom, it will be like 36 dp. Okay, so afterwards there will be a change in text size too. I have changed it to 29 sp, 28 sp. Okay, so why I am designing all this in XML? Actually, this is the professional way to design the screens for the Android app by using XML coding, or you can use the option for drag and drop also, but this is the good way. Here you have to write the codes. Okay, so now hint, as I'm giving the title of the app as Crypto Caesar. Please don't mind the spelling if I write it wrongly. Okay, and then the text color, I think it will be good, and then the font family is from Product Sans Bold that we have downloaded from the internet. Okay, and for now I will be removing this background. Okay, and then let me see to change this ID to tb1, bottom to bottom, bottom to top off. Okay, and then I have to remove this. Okay, so now everything is good, as you can see that. And now let me see if there's a need to modify it to stop. Okay, and here and to from top to top off. Okay, so it is constraint top to top off, and now this text view is done, but don't worry about the errors. I will be correcting it. Don't worry about anything. I will be showing you the output of this app too, so it can be obtained by removing the errors only. And now I have to add a button here having the width as 0 dp, and the height for this button will be 50 dp. Okay, and now I have to give ID for this button, so let me give the ID as btn encrypt. Okay, so it is also, you have to give some more properties for the button also, so let me give them the properties for this. What's happened? Okay, nothing happens. I just have to remove this full stop that I have mistakenly pointed out there. Okay, don't worry. And now here I have to add few more properties for this button view, so let me give them. And what are those? Like we have margin, and margin from the start is given as 30 dp, and now the margin from the end is also 30 dp. And then I have to give the background, and we'll give the background as color black from the Android library. And now I have to give the font family here. So font family is taken from the custom fonts. Let me I have forgot that the spelling of Product Sans bold, so let me copy it. I will be copying it from here, Control C, and then I will be just pasting it here, Control V. Okay, done. So font family is given. Now few more properties, like what will be the text here. Text will be encrypt for this button. Okay, so the text is done for this button. Now the text color I'm taking as white. Now the properties from constraint view, like constraint baseline to the baseline of, okay, then I have to give ID here, button decrypt. Don't worry, I will be creating the another button to having the ID btn decrypt. Okay, now the another property here, btn, it's a constraint and to start off, and here I have to give the ID of btn decrypt 2. And now I have to add one more constraint, start to start off, and giving its value as parent. So the button is almost completed, and now I have to see what I have to add here. So I'm adding another button here, and that button having the width as 165 dp, and then height is 49 dp. Also you have to give the ID for this button too as button decrypt. Okay, so this button will be used for decryption, and the previous button encrypt will be used for the encryption purpose. Now I have to add some properties for this view, like I have to add the margin from the end side is 31 dp, margin from the bottom is 19 dp. And now the background, so let me choose the background here. It is from it is of Android and color black. Okay, and now let me add the font family here. So the font family is Product Sans bold. Okay, and few more properties for this button, like you have to add the text as decrypt, so user can know that this button will be used for the decryption purpose. And now the text color is white. Okay, and now here you have to add some constraint properties for the above parent constraint layout that we are having. So first is bottom to bottom of parent, and then constraint end to end of parent. Afterwards you have to add the constraint start to end of, and giving the ID for the button encrypt. Okay, so now one more thing, that is a constraint top to bottom of, and here I have to give the value for this ID like key dt. Don't worry, I will be creating the another view having the ID key dt. So this button is completed. Now let me scroll in the empty area to check whether we have to add the new view here. So let me add another view here, and that view is added text. Okay, and it will be having the width as 0 dp and height is 50 dp. Okay, then I have to give the ID for this added text as input message. In this added text you will be adding your message to encrypt it, and then will be simply decrypt that using Cipher Cryptography algorithms. Okay, now I have to add the font family here, so I'm adding the font family. Let me check its name, and its name is Product Sans Regular, so I will be adding it here like regular. It is completed, and now the hint like your message. Okay, and now the text color will be your choice, and by default it is black. Don't have to add that, but you can add this. Okay, so text color is added, hint is added. Now some constraint properties, like the parents layout is constraint layout, so we have to add that constraint properties here. So constraint bottom to top of, I'm adding the ID here. ID is Cipher edt. Okay, so now another constraint property for this added text, and that is constraint start to start of parent. Okay, and now one more, that is constraint end to end of parent. Okay, most probably the last one, constraint top to bottom of, to give the ID as tb1. Okay, this added text is completed, and now I will just copy it and just paste it here. I will change its ID, and the new ID will be Cipher edt. Okay, now the weight is changed to 356, and then the margin from the start and margin from the end is taken as 29. Okay, now I can see that what are the necessary changes are required there. Let me check, like I have to add one more margin from the bottom also, given as the value as 17 dp. Okay, now you have to change the hint also, like cipher text. You have to add some cipher text here, and then finally you have to change this ID to key dt. Okay, then start off is there, to end off, and change this top to bottom of the last one to input message. Okay, so now you have to add another view, and that view is just copy it and paste it here. Okay, now you have to change the ID here, so the new ID will be key dt, as you have to add the key for the encryption and decryption purpose. And now the font family is regular same, and let me change the hint and make it key. Okay, now you have to change something in constraint properties, like bottom to top of button decrypt, and then another one to top to bottom of, to change it and changes to what, Cipher edt. Okay, So now there's an error because the names are starting with capital letters, so you just have to change it by right press and go to refactor, change name. I'm adding just sans Paul, then right click and go to refactor, rename, and then sans regular. Refract it and just rebuild the project. There will be no errors. Okay, here you can see that all errors are removed. And now I will be just scrolling it. If you have messed up anywhere, then pause the video and correct your code. Okay, so we will be seeing the Java coding in the next video. So please subscribe our channel Techno Learning. Till that, and bye bye. Thank you for watching.